So this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Two in a Wave, 2010. This is going to be a documentary on the French so-called New Wave. And in particular, it's François, Truffaut, and Jean-Luc Goddard. Sort of biography kind of thing. And now I'm going to return my disc right now. I'm giving it 2 out of 5 stars. I thought it was going to be better, but it started going downhill quick with Jean-Luc Goddard's communist nonsense, something about the exploiters and the exploited. I think he's gone totally crazy by May 1968, and if I was his friend like Truffaut, I'd end the friendship right there, but he had to wait until later when Goddard called him a liar and a fascist before their friendship ended. I think if I was Truffaut, I would have ended it a lot earlier, but in any case, they claim to be innovators of cinema with their jump cuts, which is, or at least Goddard does, with his jump cut stuff, and at the same time they contradict themselves by imitating other directors like Alfred Hitchcock, Orson Welles, Ingmar Bergman. It was interesting because the end of the 400 Blows is exactly like that that famous stare from Harriet Anderson in Summer with Monica, and where she's got that evil look in her face like the witch from hell. And the kid who was in 400 Blows is in a bunch of movies, and the documentary falsely implies that the same actor never did any more Goddard films after they ended their friendship. But he was in 1985 Goddard movie called Detective, and I noticed was that the Antoine and Colette short film that I mentioned in my previous video, I mistakenly identified it as a Goddard movie, but it was actually Truffaut who directed that one. So my mistake, I was having a senior moment. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I'd totally forgotten that it was not directed by Goddard. So I'll update that in the comments section of my Antoine and Colette review. And there's a lot of stuff about Goddard's yelling and screaming at the 1968 Cannes Festival, causing it to shut down, with his buddy Truffaut there. And a lot of commotion. They show riots from May 1968. And I don't know what Goddard is protesting. I guess the government had some say. The right-wing government had some say in some power and influence in the film industry, which is probably what Goddard wants, ironically. In his communist scheme, he wants the government to run everything. but he doesn't like who's in charge of the Gaullist people, I guess, because they keep firing his friend, and but it was okay for him when Truffaut got the 400 blows. He got some exposure there. Picture taken with the sunglasses and everything, and which was the same government, I guess. I don't know. Did France have right-wing government in the late 60s? And onward, I guess so. Yeah, late 60s. Late 50s to late 60s, I guess. General de Gaulle. I don't know. I'm not much of a history buff when it comes to France, but anyways. That part was a little unclear. The extent and the nature of the government relationship with the film industry in France. And then there's this rather exotic looking French gal who just putzing around and looking at some old new wave film memorabilia. And I guess she's just there just to make the film look pretty. We're blowing her hair out of her face, and I don't know. It's unclear what her role is. I guess she's a film buff historian or something. Who knows? So didn't quite understand that, and Goddard just looks like a drunk, drugged out communist turd from the late 60s with a scraggly beard and his sunglasses, pissing people off and annoying everybody. So there's that. It annoyed me as well. So I guess for a documentary, this movie did about as good as it could, considering the source material, namely my least favorite director, Jean-Luc Goddard. And I would have given it 1 out of 5 stars just for having him in it, but like I said, I think they did the best they could with the source material. And I do like some of the short films, like Antoine and Colette. Anyways, that's the end of my review. Later.